Hey, this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum against AEW Dark. This is from September 7th, 2021. What can I say? It was my favorite episode of Dark to date. How can that possibly be, Steve? They've had now more than a few over 100. How is this your favorite? The main event with the what do they call it? Basically, where they had to go 3 falls between Swole and Diamante. I thought it was a great idea. It's a great thing that I hope they make a semi-regular part of the broadcast, where they actually have a feud resolve on Dark between two people who perhaps that shouldn't be a Dynamite thing or even a Rampage thing. The 3 strikes match, I thought it was very clever. It's one of those things that harkens back to when I was booking, and most any booker who had done this for a while had tried to come up with matches on their own. I thought this was a really good one, where the first fall would be decided by pinfall, the second submission, and then the third by knockout. I thought it was cool. They've kept this thing going between Swole and Diamante for a while, and to see a payoff happen on Dark, I think is just really a really great thing, and I hope more people watch it because of that, and it encourages them to do it more often. We start off with Lance Archer against Jason Hodge. This is not the resolution to a feud. This is Lance Archer beating the crap out of somebody, and most certainly happens. Lance Archer, who by the way goes to 37-7 after this victory. Jason Hodge 0-5. It is what you would expect from this kind of match. At the end, he hits the blackout and gets the win. Second match, we got the Bunny with Penelope Ford, who's wrestling a lot more lately and in better and better matches. When the Bunny started wrestling again en masse, it did not look that good, but looks good here. And Laney Luck, I think, may win our Enhancement Performer of the Week because looks good here. On these matches, by the way, that are not competitive, I go on a 3-check system. So if you hear me say 3 checks or 2 checks, that's what I'm talking about. So 3 checks in the case of a non-competitive matchup. 1 check is for the correct person being put over, in this case the Bunny. Second, if they're put over in a definitive fashion, I do hate a roll-up, especially in a squash match. And Bunny wins with the down the rabbit hole. And then a 3rd check mark if the person who's losing does a really good job or gets a disproportionately large amount of offense. In this case, Laney Luck does get some offense in, so the Bunny gets to show the chops in selling and timing, but ultimately loses, so that's a 3rd check mark. Third match, a new incarnation of the Dark Order tag team. I don't believe Evil Uno and Colt Cabana have ever teamed up before exclusively in a tag team. They're taking on Alan Angels and number 10. I'm going to call this a competitive match. Very interesting here as we're having dissension and disagreements within the Dark Order that they're settling with wrestling each other. Honestly, it's probably the best move. Right now, there really isn't a place for the Dark Order on the main shows, especially with Adam Page not there currently. So them feuding with each other seems to make sense to me. Uno at the end hits the pump handle flatliner to pick up the victory. This is the most competitive match beyond the main event on the whole show. Because it is a competitive match, I do a 3-check scale, but a slightly different standard. Did both sides look good here? I thought both sides looked incredibly good. When you have people who are familiar with each other that wrestle each other, it tends to be, I shouldn't say always, it tends to be really good, and this one was really good. Second check mark if somebody's put over in definitive fashion. I thought Uno really putting the beat down with his finish on Alan Angels was a good way to go, because that sets up our 3rd check mark possibility in competitive matches. Is something set up for the future? I think we're definitely going to see Uno against Angels in the future, for example. Great job, 3 check marks. 4th match, the Acclaimed against Sean Dean and Robert Anthony. It's nice to see the Acclaimed back. The rap that they did sort of alluding to and directly addressing the fact that one of them was kind of put out to pasture for just a little while. I thought was really clever, really funny. They don't push them too hard here. They basically win in a squash. They really go over big, and I think that's good because the last thing you wanted was to them have choppy moments in the ring. So, as usual, a good job by Sean Dean, but I thought that Anthony also did a really great job here, and he has to take the majority of the beating. Robert Anthony, who I believe is a school teacher in his other life. In any case, the Acclaimed wins with the mic drop. They pick up the victory, 3 check marks. Fifth match, Joey Janella, super heel Joey Janella, who's got Kayla Rossi at ringside with him, against Lee Moriarty. And you know they're going to put on a good match because I'm sure they're familiar with each other. Lee Moriarty, I'm a big fan of. Here, he has a nice competitive matchup with Joey Janela, but at the end of the day, I mean, and it's very long compared to most of these matches. Joey Janela, though, hits that Death Valley driver to pick up the victory, but then Sunny Kiss attacks. So it's nice that they have some continuity, and they're going to have that Sunny Kiss Joey Janela feud as they should. And then Rossi saving Janela is also funny. But Moriarty really gives a good accounting of himself. I think, honestly, he's going to win Enhancement Performer of the Week, though it feels strange to say that about Lee Moriarty. Right now, that's the mode that he's in, but I think he's well on the road to probably getting signed. And he looks really good doing it here. 3 check marks. Great job, Lee Moriarty. Now we have another different incarnation of the Dark Order, Colt Cabana and Stu Grayson, against Ricky Shane Page, who I'm very, very high on, and Travis Titan. Good match, and again, there's a lot to keep up with. Ricky Shane Page looks good in there because he's got some size on him, so when Stu Grayson's throwing him around, it really matters. At the end of the day, they make sure Titan takes the pin, Cabana with the Chicago skyline. 3 check marks, no problems here. And then finally, our 3 strikes match between Big Swole and Diamante, most assuredly a competitive match. It goes down really, really cool. I thought it was very traditional too. Diamante's the heel, so Diamante takes the first fall, which I think is really, really great. And then Swole comes back with really a great looking submission here. And then in the last one, at the end, the chain assisted Dirty Dancing for the win. I really suggest you watch this match. In my opinion, it's the best that Big Swole has looked. Diamante also cementing her place in the division. Once upon a time, I mean, she was the winner of their first women's tag memorial, whatever thing, with Ivelisse as her partner. But since Ivelisse has been ousted, has done a really good job of quitting herself and making herself really good in this division. In any case, I thought this was a really great episode of Dark. Really happy to watch this one. And you should check out at least that main event.